Hey Flosstube, welcome to this special edition of Creative Whim Studio. Guess what time it is? It is time to share my new releases with you that we will be taking to Nashville in 3 short weeks. So I want to start out by talking a little bit about the books that I'm coming out with. I'm coming out with 5 books at Nashville. Those charts that are in those 5 books are all Patreon charts that came out in 2021. And then this August at Needlework Expo, I'm going to have a fall book and a Halloween book. And those will also be from the 2020, because I started October 2020 is when I opened my Patreon site. So all of the charts for the very first year of having Patreon are going to be in book form. And I did that as just a celebration that we made it through the first year of Patreon. I'm still learning about the format, but we are having a blast over there. But I wanted to let you know that that is not going to happen every year. I am not going to offer all 36 charts that I designed for Patreon. I'm not going to offer all of those to the public every year, okay? This is just a special treat because we made it our first year, so it's a celebration. All right, having said that, let's get started. All right, I am going to start with punch needle. I said to Kevin earlier, I said I am failing as a punch needle designer because I only have 2 new releases. I feel bad about it. I need to step it up because I know there's a lot of people that really still love punch needle, and there's not a lot of people designing punch needle out there. So I really need to step that up. So I will be doing that. But for this release, I only have 2. They're so cute though, and I had a blast punching them. It sounds so weird, doesn't it? I had a blast punching them. So the first one is Christmas Sheep. Now, if you watch my Flosstube regularly, you have watched me work on this. But now you can see it fully finished. This punch needle uses, I thought it was organized. I really tried to be. I have a table behind me, I have a table over here with stuff on it, and then I have a chair with stuff on it. Everything is in my reach. So I used DMC, a little bit of Weeks Dye Works, and Valdani to create this sweet piece. Then I used Dames of the Needle, Shakespeare's Primitive Red, mini pom-pom trim to go around the piece, and then I adhered it to a book that was this bright yellow, and I just took some watered down raw umber paint and painted over top, just real watery so that it, you know, kept the yellow color. Yeah, so just a real quick thought. This mini pom-pom color is to die for. It is just stunning, and I'm so happy that Teresa Vanette worked with Elizabeth at Dames of the Needle to come up with this amazing color that I will be using a lot of because it's so my color. This was part of Kitten Stitcher's Advent box, but now it is available in Dames of the Needle in her line. I think it's a new release for market, so look for that in your shops to come aftermarket. This is what the pattern will look like in your shop, so you know what you're looking for. The piece measures 8.5 by 5 3/4 inches. Ooh, what are you eating? You need to stop that. Can you hear her munching? Oh, I forgot something. Gosh, it's like an obstacle course in here. Okay, my second punch needle piece is My Country, My Home. This piece measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/2. It uses DMC and Weeks Dye Works embroidery floss. What I did on this piece is, for finishing, I purchased this little house from, I think it was Joanne, but the company is called jillybean-soup.com. Let me just show you that. There you go. That way you have the skew and everything you need right there. And I painted it, so as you can see, it was like this gray barnwood look, which is beautiful too. But I painted the side of it with navy paint, and then I sanded and stained it. And then, as you can see, the inside, I painted a cream color, and then I did some crackling. You can see the crackle on it. But it fit perfectly in there. I needed something for that, a little area up there, and I made that little guy out of clay. And I think he's super fun. That's what your pattern will look like in the stores. Oh yes, big announcement, y'all. We are not putting fabric, the weaver's cloth, in our patterns anymore. We made a very difficult decision. We have been struggling all of 2021 to get weaver's cloth by the bolt, you know, several bolts at a time. It's been a nightmare. So I did a floss tube, and I asked people that do punch needle, you know, would that stop you from buying a pattern if it didn't have the weaver's cloth in it? And it was pretty much like almost 100% that people were like, oh no, I keep weaver's cloth on hand, or I can go to Joanne and get it, or my LNS carries it. So we decided not to put them in our patterns anymore, because what was happening is we would get orders and we wouldn't have weaver's cloth. So Kevin would have to go into what we have in inventory, patterns that are already stuffed with the weaver's cloth. He'd have to undo them and take the weaver's cloth out to put in the pattern that was ordered. It was a nightmare. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna offer weaver's cloth on our Etsy shop. We've done that before. It's not listed right now because we were having a hard time getting it. Well, we're gonna pull all the weaver's cloth out of all of our inventory. So I'm gonna put that back up in Etsy that you can purchase, you know, just a 1 piece or 5 pieces or however many you want. They're 13 by 17 inches, I believe. So, I mean, if you're doing something small, you can get several projects on 1 piece of weaver's cloth. And as long as we have it in stock and as long as we can get it, we will offer it in our Etsy shop. So I want, you know, I've made all of the shops aware that from here on out, when they purchase it, it's just going to be the paper pattern. And I know some shops carry weaver's cloth by the bolt and they cut it for their customers. We will have it in our Etsy shop, and, you know, check with your LNS. And I'm pretty sure there's probably other Etsy shops that carry it as well. So, important information. I am continuing to design for the series called From the Heart. I call it From the Heart because these cross stitch designs are Some are full coverage. They are, you know, confetti stitching. They're made to look like my paintings. So, you know, watercolory, or they're an intense stitch. So I call it from the heart because I feel like if you stitch one of these, you're working from your heart because you really love doing this kind of stitching. So I have a new piece and I'm so excited to show it to you. It's called Madonna and Child, and it is directly from a painting that I did. I don't have the painting here to show you because I sold it. It was like a 16 by 20 painting. I do offer prints of the painting in my Etsy shop. But now, if you like that kind of stitching, you can stitch this yourself. I absolutely love how it came out, and I am so impressed with Matthew Penton. He is one of my model stitchers, and he does a beautiful job, as you can see with that close-up. I will give you all the details of this piece. So the stitch count is 126 by 165. This was stitched 2/2 on 35 count linen. So the finished size is 9 3/4 by 9 1/8. It was stitched on 35 count Weeks Dye Works. Oh, no. That information is completely wrong. Hold, please. Let's try that again. Okay, Madonna and Child, stitched 1/2 on 40 count linen. So the finished size is 6 1/4 by 8 1/4, and the stitch count is 126 by 165 high. This was stitched by Matthew Penton of Ohio on 40 count dark mocha linen by XU Designs. This is stitched entirely in DMC threads. The frame, I purchased this frame on pictureframes.com. I'll have a link in the description box below. But I think I mentioned it in my last Flosstube, and I showed you the catalog, I think. But they have beautiful frames. I think I even showed this frame in my Flosstube, but that was before I had this piece in it. And so you can custom, make custom sizes to fit whatever you want. So I want to give you another close-up of this because I want you to see Matthew's beautiful stitching, but see what I mean about confetti stitching. But it gives it such an artsy look and feel. It's cool. So there you go, Madonna and Child. Okay, next we have Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu. This is my first ever attempt at designing a Biscornu. My friend Donna Fidowa, she is, I call her the Biscornu Queen. I think somebody coined that phrase for her. I think I embarrassed her when I said it on one of my Flosstube videos. But she is a perfectionist, and she has gorgeous stitching, and she has made a ton of Biscornus, and she is just amazing. She has helped me through this entire design. I actually printed all the instructions, and Kevin has stuffed several of, like, I don't know, hundreds of them. And then just as a precaution, I sent her one of the patterns. And she called me when I was in Florida and she said, uh-oh, we have a problem. So I have to reprint that. And I told Kevin I would restuff those charts because I feel terrible about it. But anyway, for whatever reason, I am not grasping the whole designing of Biscornus. So I need a lesson from Donna when she makes her next Biscornu. I need to go to her house and watch her make it. I think then it will click for me. But I'm going to hold up, hold on, hold. Oh, please. I couldn't find my foam core, so I grabbed a cradled board that I use for painting. Okay. I want you to be able to see this. So the top has the flower in the center with just a basic button, and then it has the Newcastle Bouquet moths going around. And then on the bottom, which the bottom is just as pretty as the top as far as I'm concerned, the border that goes around the Newcastle Bouquet is where I got that design from. It's very hard to show on the video, though, I have to say. Get my dang face out of there. So there you have it. Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu. Now, I've shown this on Instagram, and I thought it was interesting. I got messages and people commenting, and I think on Facebook as well, that they're so excited about this Biscornu that they got out their Newcastle Bouquet sampler that they had been working on and maybe put it away for whatever reason to work on something else. And anyway, they're pulling that back out to get it stitched so that they can display the sampler with the Biscornu. And I thought that was very cool. Very cool. So I have a lot of admiration for you, Donna, for your tenacity in helping me write these directions and get this thing right, and for her beautiful stitching and her beautiful finishing. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I can't thank you enough. And I'm really excited because I got invited to her stitching group a week from next Saturday. I think it's next Saturday. I don't know. But I'm excited about that. So I want to show you, I'm going to show you what the pattern will look like at your shop. So I did my best to show all the different angles of the Biscornu on the cover. Let me go over the details of this Biscornu. Stitched 1/1 on 40 count linen, and it's Picture This Plus doubloon. And it uses Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colorworks, and DMC, and I have the DMC conversion for those 3 threads that are fancy floss. So thank you, Donna. She lives in Michigan. She's my friend. We're moving on to the 5 books that I have created. I want to give first and foremost a huge thank you to all of the patrons that stitched, fully finished, staged, and photographed their piece for the book. I had this brainiac idea that, oh wow, how fun would it be for the patrons to be able to contribute to the book? And they were all for it, and so we did a live video and we figured out who was going to stitch what for the book, and it was just, it all came together beautifully, and I'm just so happy and thrilled to have their work displayed in these books. Having said that, that means I don't have the models here because they stitched it, fully finished it, staged it, and photographed it at their house. So I have some things here because there was a couple, there's one I stitched, there was a couple that I had my model stitchers stitching because I have to have them in my home because I absolutely love them. And then I had one stitcher send me her stitched piece, and she asked me to fully finish it and, you know, do the rest. So I have a little mix of things, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the books, and then I will insert pictures of the finished pieces so that you can see them better than just looking at them in the book. Okay, so again, I just want to preface this by saying all of these designs that are contained in these books are from the Patreon group membership, And like I said, this is a treat. This is a one-off. This is not going to happen every year. I will, you know, I will offer some of the Patreon designs next year, but not all 36 like I am for this one. Okay, so our first book is Love Lives Here. So all of my previous books had the spiral binding. And I know a lot of people really liked that because you can open them up, you know, all the way and flip them back. And I understand that. But we decided to not do those books moving forward because they are difficult to ship because the spiral gets interlocked with the ones behind it or in front of it, and they just kind of get all tangled up, and they also get bent in shipping, and so they don't look nice and pristine like we want our products to look. So we have decided to go with the saddle stitch for the binding. The first two books I show you will have 9 designs in each of them. In the front of every book, I talk a little bit about Patreon and how, you know, where these designs came from. I put in here, it says staging and photography was done by the stitcher unless otherwise noted. So here is the first page, and you know, it has, you know, this small sampler, and it shows all of the threads and the stitch count and all of the details that you need to stitch those pieces. So this small sampler, Basket of Joy, and then Love Lives Here. The next 3 that are in that same book are here. And then the last 3 in this book are right here. So the only one that I have in that book that I am able to show you is Saltbox. So Tammy Easterling, she stitched this and she sent it to me to fully finish and photograph. So I'll give you the details on this one since I have the model here. She stitched this 2/2 on 28 count beach sand by 2-dye-4 fabrics. And then I finished it on this checker, no, what do you call that, buffalo plaid from Hobby Lobby. It's a 7.5 by, 7.5 by 7.5 inch box. And the SKU number is 2067510. And I grungied up the sides a little bit. It was stark white, and I just went over it with raw umber. But I wanted to tell you about the box because if you stitch it like she did on 28 count linen, it fits perfectly on this box. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you all the ladies that stitched for that book. Truly appreciate it. Okay, our next book is called Flurry. Again, this contains 9 designs inside. And I will share them with you. Goofball. So here are the first 3 designs in the book. Here are 3 more designs in the book. And here are the last 3 designs in this book. I love that heart ornament. Look at the little baby animals. I love that one. So that one is called Flurry. And I don't have anything in that book to show you. So I did make a post in Patreon, and I asked any of the people that contributed to the books. I said, if you want your piece displayed in Nashville for the show, please send it to me. And I wish I would have thought of that earlier, so I would have had them here to show you. So I'm probably going to do another video before Nashville showing the models that come in so that you can see, because they always look better, instead of looking at them in a book. It'll be much nicer. Okay, our third book is called Gather. I stitched that one, and then that one I had a model stitcher stitch for me because I had to have it. So in this one, this was the interesting part about doing the books this way as well. The spiral bound books, you can do as many pages as you want. You don't have to worry about like a certain number of pages, where when you're doing a saddle stitch book, it has to be in increments of 4. So in this particular book, I had some blank pages. And so I just added in, like a close-up of Gather. Okay, so here's the layout of this book and how I did it. So in this book, there's only 3 designs, as you saw on the cover. So this is ABC 1, 2, 3 sampler stitched by Becky. And then here is Gather. I have that one here, so I will show you that. And then I also have Sally Emerson here because I stitched Sally Emerson, but I will show you it in the book. Here's Sally Emerson. And I'm pretty sure you guys that watch my Flosstube, you have seen the progress of me stitching Sally Emerson. So let me show you her in all her glory, all fully finished and all prettified with Lady Dot Creates Dirty Face Lace. I can't get enough of that lace. I just love it. So I have to say that I made many errors when stitching this. Colors that don't belong in certain spots, and anyways. So you can either go by the photograph or you can go by how it's charted. Either way, it's beautiful. If you go to stitch that, that's why it doesn't match exactly. I guess I could give the details on that one. I'm trying to give the details on the ones that I actually have the models of. All right, so, oh Lord, I'll get there. Sally Emerson, stitched 1/2 on 40 count, Grandma's Slip by XU Designs. And the stitch count is 166 by 88. Okay, as you can tell from the back, you know who framed that for me. All right, so here is Gather. Let me show it back far away. And then we'll do a nice zoom in of the details. This is my original design, but as you can tell, those birds were very inspired by antique samplers. I love the strawberries. All right, so while I hold this, I'm going to share with you all of the details for Gather. Gather was stitched by Mary Schreiner. 1/2 on 36 count antique ivory by Zweigart, using one each of the colors. Framed by Paula at Craft Gallery and photographed by me. Yeah, these samplers need to be professionally framed. And you guys know who my framer is. Perfect, absolute perfect frame for this piece. She actually had, I had picked out something different, but when it came in, it was gold, like shiny, really shiny gold. And she was like, this doesn't look at all like my sample piece. And so anyways, I think I have this frame on another one of my pieces, but it just works so well with having the cow and, you know, the chicken and the sheep, kind of a farm feel. And this is kind of like a barnwood finish. It's so pretty. So this has the Ultra View UV 70 anti-reflective glass in it, which it, you know, it does reflect a little bit, but it has to be straight on. So beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to hang that in my house after market. Okay, so I'm showing you these books in no particular order. Basically, it's the order that I designed the book. I don't know, it's stuck in my head that way, and when I'm writing it out or whatever I'm doing, I always write it in that way because then I can remember them all that way. Is that weird? Our fourth book is Let Love Rain, and here is the cover. And so this one's a little bit different. Most of the books on the back have, you know, contact information and all of that jazz. But because I show this close up, I'm not showing all the other designs. On the back, I put the other two designs that are inside of this book. Okay, so I love this part. Let Love Rain, small collection, big love. I love that. Our first one is How Much I Love You, heart-shaped pillow. So this, Colleen did a really nice job with her photography too. And this is, I believe, her mother as a small child. So, so pretty. And then we have Love Your Family. This is a Mother Teresa quote. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. It's kind of hard to see, but the couple is holding a baby. I love that piece. So pretty. I guess I should have been saying this entire time, who stitched what. Well, when I show the page, you can see who stitched it. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm not going over this whole entire video. Okay, then, last but not least, the cover girl of Let Love Rain book. This is a big sampler, but it is one of my very favorites that I've ever designed. I absolutely love it, and I have it here to show you. So let's get that out. Again, beautifully framed by Paula at Craft Gallery. So look how big this piece is. This is a big sampler. She's absolutely stunning though, and I just love it, and I will tell you all the details about it here in a minute. I also include numbers for you to be able to put in your wedding date, or you can, you can mix it up. You can do whatever you want, whatever kind of date you want to put in there. But this flower bouquet, I absolutely love that flower bouquet. Okay, so while I'm holding this, oh Lord, I don't want to drop it. Let Love Rain was stitched by Tina Penton. 1/2 on 40 count grandma slip by XU Designs. Framed by Paula at Craft Gallery and photographed by me. So pretty. Oh yeah, and the stitch count is 294 by 390. It uses mostly DMC, but there are 2 Weeks Dye Works, and I have the DMC equivalent in there, as I do on all of these books, all of these charts. Our 5th book is called Thoughts and Dreams. And Colleen Holt made the cover. Her staging and photography was just beautiful. So I want to tell you a little bit about her photo. The guitar that you see in this photo is over 100 years old. It was her husband Mark's, and it had been in their family. It says the guitar his mom earned by selling some ointment in a pink can back in the day. All mom's sisters and brothers learned how to play on it, and then all of their children as well. Isn't that amazing? Then the tatted piece that you see in this picture, she said that is also over 100 years old. I just love how she used, special personal items in her photograph. 3 dreamy charts. There's 3 charts in this one, and they're all shown right here. Flowers or weeds, so I'll read that. Your mind is the garden, your thoughts the seeds. You can either grow flowers or weeds. And I absolutely love that saying, and I really love all those flowers and birds going around the border there. And then my darling, life is tough, my darling, but so are you. I love that, and I think that should be in every child's bedroom. And then, of course, Daydream Believer. And then it has all the details. They all use the same colors. It's colors and symbols. And then only 1 Weeks Dye Works, which I give the DMC equivalent to. So there you have it. That is our 5 books. Again, I don't have any of the ones that are in here in my possession to show you, but that's okay. I will, whatever I get in, probably like the weekend, we're leaving for Nashville on a Tuesday. So that weekend before we go, I will have, whatever models are being sent to me, I should have them. And I will do another video showing the models. I'm excited to see them in person. Photos just don't do them justice. That's it, my friends. I am so excited about Nashville. I know everyone is excited to be together face to face. It's been a while, and we're all excited. Yesterday, the mass email went out to all of my shops on my mailing list, so they have all of the details. They have, all of the floss, the size of the chart. They have all of that information. And even this morning, I saw a couple of shops on Instagram showing some of the books and things. So it's open for pre-order. We do take pre-orders because it helps the shops immensely, because they have there's 4 floors of things. Not just designers, but all the trims, the linens, all the floss, everything that you need as a shop, a needlework shop, is, there to purchase. So in order for them to go into every room and look around and then place an order and have the person, pull the order for them, it's cash and carry so they can take it home, there's just not enough time. The show is Friday. Early bird is optional, which we started opening on Friday nights. We used to not do that, but then when I realized how pressed for time the shops are, we started opening Friday night. And I think it's like a shop can only spend 7 minutes per room or less if they want to go in every room and shop around. So by taking pre-orders, they can place their order, have it paid for. When we get there, we then pull all of the pre-orders so it's sitting in the back room, and then when they come in and say we have a pre-order, it's already paid for, we go back, the invoice is in the bag, everything, we grab it for them and they can go on their way. You know, and it helps the flow better too, because when you get a bunch of people in your room and everyone's trying to order, it gets real chaotic. So the pre-orders are very helpful, not only for the shops, it's helpful for us. Also pre-orders, by showing my stuff early, the shops then can put it on their social media and on their websites, and then their customers can say, hey, get one of those for me, so they kind of have an idea of how much they need to purchase. And then it helps us as well, because we can say, oh wow, you know, we have this many pre-orders and we only ordered this many books, we need to order some more books. So we have a cutoff for the shops to place their pre-orders, because then we can see where we're at with our numbers, and we may have to order more books and then have the books shipped right to the show. Because every year, every stinking year, we run out of, you know, inventory. It never fails. And we are really trying to not have that happen this year. And by having these books is helpful, because then I can call the, you know, the place and just say, hey, I need, or actually I wouldn't even call them, I would just do it online. You place your orders online. I've never even spoken to anybody at this publishing company. It's all online. They make it so easy. It's incredible. They're really great to work with, and as you can see, their products are amazing as well. What I do, so because all of my previous books did not have color inside of them, so these are a little bit more expensive because there's color photos inside, but also I have the cover coated with a UV protectant so that it will help. It's scratch resistant and fade resistant that way. So they're very nice books. They do a fabulous job, and I couldn't be more happy about these books. So yeah, pre-order away. Get a hold of your LNS and let them know which books you want, or you know, whatever it is you're looking for, and then that way they can come to the show and know that they have that reserved for you. I know some shops don't offer pre-orders to their customers because, you know, like I said, we usually run out of stuff. And so if they get back and they have pre-orders and they can't fill those orders and their customers, you know, have already paid for it, it can get really hairy. But you know what? Here's the thing, guys. Please be patient. Be patient with us. Be patient with your LNS. We are doing the best we can to offer the best quality products, the most exciting products, and we are, you know, we want you to be happy, but not everything always runs as smoothly as we would like. So be patient. You'll get your stuff, and you know, it's not like you don't have something else to work on, right? That was me being cheeky. But anyways, thank you so much for watching today. I'm just can't wait. I'm so excited to watch other people's new release video, because it is so exciting to see what people come up with. It's just like, I'm not necessarily going to stitch something of someone else's. I mean, I'd love to. I just don't have a lot of time to stitch. You know, I am collecting, as you've seen in my Flosstube, I am collecting patterns because someday I'll retire and I'll have more time to stitch. But it's still exciting for me to see it, and I wish all of my designer friends and people that dye fabric and floss and all of that much, much success at the Nashville market. And I can't wait to see all the shop owners, which have become friends over the years, and just, it's going to be a great time. And I will, when I get back, I will share all of it with you. So, all right, thanks again for watching. Bye.